Well, hello everyone. My name is Zachary O'Shea, and this is Box of Teeth. While it might be a Tuesday, we did miss just another Mimic Monday yesterday, so I want to catch all of you up right now. Every Monday, except holidays, because mimics deserve breaks too, I reach deep into my box of teeth and produce a homemade mimic for all of you. Sometimes they're a little bit silly, often a little bit horrific, and today we have the Stump Mimic. A curious monstrosity indeed, the Stump Mimic feeds off of and adores woodland creatures in equal measure. It prefers a tranquil existence where the forest beasts treat it as a valued ally and can influence them to bring it better prey. But if worst comes to worst, well, it's not above consuming its friends. The Mimic's favorite prey is humanoids, of course, though it likes to play with its food. Its strange nature puts them into a fugue state, making them easier to eat, or the beast under its thrall to attack. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the Stump Mimic statistics for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. The Stump Mimic is a challenge rating 3 medium monstrosity with a pretty good armor class and a decent number of hit points. Like any mimic, it does have shape changer, adhesive, false appearance, and grappler, but it can only change into a tree stump. Because it's not used to moving around a whole lot, it doesn't have quite as much strength as a normal mimic, which makes up for its greater hit points and armor class. It does have limited telepathy, so it can magically communicate with beasts that it has charmed, and that goes down to one of its actions, which is Happy Tree Friend. It can choose up to 4 beasts within 30 feet of it, and psychically sways them to its side. It's basically animal friendship, but on top of that, it does have unlimited telepathy, so it can kind of influence them on what it wants them to do. I'll also note that Happy Tree Friend does affect swarms, which are normally not affected by charm, as long as those swarms are beasts. Its big claim to fame is something called Stumped. Now, it does have kind of a psychic field that dulls the mind of more intelligent creatures. So if a creature with intelligence of 4 or greater begins its turn within 30 feet of the mimic, or enters that area for the first time, has to make an intelligence check, or it becomes forgetful for the next minute. If it fails to save by 5 or more, it becomes forgetful for the next 24 hours. Now, what does forgetful mean? Well, partially, it cannot take reactions, and it can either take actions or bonus actions on its turn, but not both. In addition, during that time, it does have disadvantage on all intelligence and wisdom-based scores, so it's easy to get lost with, say, a survival check. It basically makes it more difficult for the creatures that it's victimizing to travel and interact with in the woods, and it kind of lends to that whole people getting lost in the woods and attacked by animals and that sort of stuff motif, but it's all to serve this particular mimic and make its hunting a little bit easier. Of course, like any other mimic, it does have pseudopods and a bite attack. It does have multi-attack, mostly because its pseudopods and bite do less damage because it doesn't have nearly as much strength as a normal mimic. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the Stump Mimic. There's, of course, hundreds more mimics and hundreds more on top of that horror-themed creatures for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, all available for free at boxofteeth.blogspot.com. If you're more interested in the non-Dungeons & Dragons projects that I have, or the horror fiction that I write that includes grease paint right there, sorry about the squeaky chair as always, you can always go to www.zacharyoshea.com. Again, sorry this is a day late, but let's have a great week ahead of us, folks. Thank you for your time and your attention.